Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this in one go, so if I stumble over my words going forwards, I apologise in advance, and I should also apologise in advance if the quality of this video later on, if it's poor, if there's any lag, anything like that at all. Sadly, it cannot be helped, and hopefully it's not too much of an issue for you. So, at the time of recording this video, it is the 4th of January 2020, pretty much the start of a new year, a new decade, and indeed a new era for the Eurovision Song Contest. Who knows? Around Christmas time in 2029, Eurovision fans might be saying that Sweden have surpassed Ireland in terms of victories in the competition. We might even be saying that San Marino have won the competition at some point. Who knows? Certainly we can't rule it out. If anything, Eurovision fans know how unpredictable Eurovision can sometimes be. So, what with it being the start of a new year, I thought that I would film my first Eurovision 2020 update, a What We Know So Far video. I filmed a few of these already, and I'm going to go through all the 41 participating nations in the upcoming 65th Eurovision Song Contest, which, as we all know, will be taking place in Rotterdam in the Netherlands in just a few months' time, this May. And we already know one song for sure, and it's going to be a busy time over the next month or two, as pretty much all of the other 40 nations will be picking their songs before we know it. So, beginning with Albania, I have information in front of me to make sure I don't forget anything. I'm warning you now, this will be another long, rambling video on my channel. That isn't changing, I'm afraid. So, Albania, we know the singer, we know the song. It is Arilena Ara. That's her name. She won the second season of Albania's version of the X Factor. She's 21, born in 1998. She's had a string of singles going back to 2014. Apparently, one of them went to #1 in Romania. Her song, which is a ballad, and if Eurovision fans know anything, it's that Albania love a female-driven ballad. The song's called Shy, which I believe means scream. It's written as S-H-A-J. The music and lyrics are by Darko Dimitrov and Lindon Berisha. I think this is a fairly good song. It's way too early to say if this is going to be a qualifier, so no Eurovision fan can start speculating on that until we know all 41 of the songs that will be taking to the stage in Rotterdam. We won't know them until the middle of March. There was controversy in the Albanian national selection. The pre-competition favourite was Elvana Gjata, who's had a lot of success, big star in Albania, and Metana was the name of her song. When I listened to it, it reminded me a little bit of Fuego by Eleni Foureira, sort of Albania's diluted version of it. But anyway, that's what it reminded me of. And the jury, because it was only a jury determining the winner of the Albanian selection, 3 of the members thought that Elvana's song was the best of the bunch. 18 points, 18 points, 18 points. M. Minga and R. Petro, and I believe both of them are Albanian, but do correct me if I'm wrong, they weren't so keen on Elvana's entry. Minga, that's the person's surname, gave Elvana 2 points, believing it to be the second weakest song of the national final, whereas R. Petro gave Elvana 8. So a bit of a difference compared to the other 3 jury members. This was an international and Albanian jury. 3 international members, 2 Albanian members, it says right there. So Elvana didn't win, 64 points. Arilena did win, 10, 13, 13, 13, 18, 67 points in all. And this was one of the favourites, no doubt about it, but there was a lot of controversy, a lot of people really unhappy that Elvana didn't win. If there had been a public vote combined with this jury vote, I'm sure that Elvana's song would have been victorious. But alas, I think one year, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, Albania did have a public vote. Why they aren't sticking with it, I'm not quite sure. If they want really good, consistently good results at the competition, they should really think about introducing a permanent public vote in their national final. Let me know your thoughts on this if you're Albanian. Arilena's song, it's way too early to speculate if this is going to qualify or do any good at the competition, but it's not a bad song. If you want to read my thoughts on Albania's entry, there'll be a link in the description below to my blog, where I'll be blogging about Eurovision 2020 throughout the next couple of months. So, that's Albania, done and dusted. My favourite was Era Rusi's song Eya Mere, which I think finished in 5th place. Yes. Moving on. Armenia. No details whatsoever. Moving on. Australia. We know the names of the musicians involved for Eurovision Australia Decides 2020, which will be taking place at the start of next month. The musicians involved are Casey Donovan, who I think is already being tipped as a potential winner here. Diana Ruvas, Didiri, Iota, Jack Vidgen, Jaguar Jones, Jordan Ravi, Mitch Tambo, Montaigne, and Vanessa Amorosi, who had a big hit years and years ago, even here in the UK, with a song called Absolutely Everybody. Anyway, in terms of on paper, this doesn't seem like that strong a lineup. I need to do my research. Jack Vidgen's song, I Am King, I Am Queen, I think I've listened to. I found it quite unremarkable. Lessons of Love, which is Vanessa Amorosi's song, also a little underwhelming. I'm interested to hear Montaigne's. Her real name is Jessica Cerro or Cerro. She's 24, so younger than me. She's got a sort of quiff thing going on. I think her song could be very interesting indeed. I'd say watch out for her. Pushing Stars is the name of Jordan Ravi's entry. Rabbit Hole is the name of Jaguar Jones's entry. Can We Make Heaven is the song for Diana Ruvas. And Proud is the name of Casey Donovan's song. But in terms of all of the details, we don't know them just yet. Moving on. Austria will be represented by Vincent Bueno. He turned 34 last month. He's based in Austria and the Philippines. There's been a bit of controversy about him, some comments he's made online in the past, I believe, but I think it's all being pushed to one side for now. He's released 3 albums, none of which have made the top 40 in the Austrian charts. So I have to say I think this is a bit of a strange choice. He's had some success, but it seems as though more of that success has been in the Philippines, which is all well and good, but they're not part of Europe and can't vote. So, who knows what's going to happen. Contemporary R&B. His song is called Alive, and that will be released in due course. Azerbaijan, no details. Belarus are going to have their national final back, but no other details. We know Belgium will be represented by Hooverphonic. I can't wait to hear their song. I think it's going to be a slow, strings-filled tune. In fact, the band have said that there will be strings in the song. Hopefully it's not going to sound too much like a James Bond theme, but who knows. It is going to be in English. It's going to be released in February. Can't wait for that. Bulgaria, we know, will be represented by a young female musician, Victoria Georgieva. She's 22, from Varna. She participated in the 4th season of X Factor Bulgaria. She's had a couple of songs that have done okay in her homeland. She seems like a pretty cool musician. I've listened to some of her stuff, and one thing's for sure, Bulgaria will probably qualify for the final again. Obviously they didn't compete last year in Tel Aviv, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table for Rotterdam. And a lot of people on my last video where I predicted the next 10 winners of the competition, a lot of people on that video commented and said that Bulgaria were one of their predicted winners between now and 2029. So that's quite interesting. We'll see if Bulgaria can keep up their pretty decent run of form. I'm rambling. Moving on. Croatia will pick their entry via their national final, Dora 2020, which will take place on the 29th of February. The musicians are Aklia Neon, Alen Vitasovic and Božidarka Matija Cherina, Bojan Jambrosic, Colonia, Damir Kecho, Dana, Eddie Abazi, Elis Lovric, Indira Levak, Jure Burklacha, Lorena Buchan. Her song's called Drowning. None of these songs have been released, by the way, but Lorena was in the national final for Croatia last year with Towers of Babylon. That was a great song that probably should have won. Lorenzo Dinapuric and rapper is Sobe. Marin Juric Chivro, Mia Negovetic, watch out for her. She's a really young musician. Her song is written by Linnea Deb, who is a Swedish singer-songwriter, and I believe she co-wrote Only Teardrops for Emily de Forest, which of course won for Denmark years ago, and Anders Rethov, who's written loads of songs for the Swedish selection over the years. So her entry, when it comes to you, is one to watch. Nikola Marjanovic and Stenka Kovacic, who I believe, there she is, a 75-year-old jazz and rock vocalist. We know the names of the songs, we know some of the songwriters, and we know the musicians, but none of the songs have been released yet, I don't think. For me, on paper, well, I'm keeping an eye on Mia Negovetic. Moving on to Cyprus, we know that Sandro, who was born to a Greek mother and an American father, will represent Cyprus. He's 23, he's from Heinsberg in Germany. He was on season 8 of The Voice of Germany, but was eliminated in the sing-off round. His real name is Alessandro Rutten, and that's all we know. I think some details have been revealed about the potential Cypriot entry, or I think they're deliberating over a couple of songs at the moment, and I did read something about that, but the song has not been revealed yet at all. Czech Republic were going to have a televised national final. That's no longer happening. It's going to be online again. We do know some details about the genres of the song, or the songs involved, sorry. Denmark will have Dansk Melodi Grand Prix. That's going to be in early March. Estonia, we know the singers, we know the songs. The favourite to win, if you believe what you read on things like Twitter, is Jagup Twisk with Beautiful Lie, which sounds a little similar to Arcade. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Who knows? Laura is back. Twice she's been at Eurovision, yet to appear in the final. Her, excuse me, her song is called Break Me. Rasmus Randvi is back with Young. That's not a bad song. Traffic, they have a song in Estonian which has been co-written by Victor Kroner, who of course represented Estonia last year, and Stig Rasta, who is a member of Traffic anyway, although I don't think he'll be on stage for this particular entry. I'm looking forward to that performance because I've heard the song and it's pretty good, a bit of a folk song. What Love Is Uku Suviste's entry, and that's not bad, that'll be a contender. And my personal favourite at this moment in time is Out in Space by Shira. One thing's for sure, I don't think Estonia will be winning Eurovision 2020. Just my thoughts there. Let me know what you think, of course. Finland, their national final will be taking place on the 7th of March. 6 artists and therefore 6 songs. Krista Siegfrids could be back. I read something earlier today about that. She, of course, represented her country in Malmö in 2013. The songs will be revealed on the 21st of January, so not long to go. Georgia, well, Georgian Idol finished very recently on New Year's Eve, and Tornike Kipiani won by a relatively small margin ahead of Barbara Samkaradze. So it's another male musician. I think his genre is mostly rock, but I think he's going to have a pop song for Eurovision. We shall soon see. Greece, no details, although it's believed that, and I can't remember her name, but she was part of Kisses, who represented the Netherlands in Junior Eurovision years ago. She's rumoured to be involved. Iceland, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, after Hattari, of course. They'll be picking their entry on the 29th of February. Ireland, no details. Israel, their selection, Hakok Hav Haba l'Eurovision, is taking place at the moment, and there's a whole bunch of musicians still involved. I'm not going to go through them. Excuse me. I'm not going to go through them, but there's loads of musicians involved, and I'm sure some of them are very, very good. Latvia will be picking their entry on the 8th of February. No details yet on the singers or the songs, but Samantha Tina is rumoured to be back for what feels like the millionth time trying to represent her country. And yes, Marcus Riva is likely to be involved. Heavens above, just go internal and choose him, Latvia, for crying out loud, because he's going to keep coming back until he's 65, potentially, if he does not go to Eurovision, believe me. Lithuania, 15th of February. We know the singers. Some of the songs have been revealed. Aiste Pilvelite is back with a song called Everlastingly, which I don't think I've heard, but she's been involved so many times in the Lithuanian national selection. Gabrielus Vagilis has a song called Tave Chia Randu, which means I find you here. He wrote it. Apologies, my Lithuanian pronunciation is not the best, as you can probably guess. His song has already had 450,000 views online, and he's well ahead of everybody else. That's a contender, and I have to say I've listened to it. It's not a bad song at all, and it would be nice to have Lithuanian at the contest, would it not? We've got a lot of young female musicians. Monica Maria is back with just the one song this time. She's a great singer. Her song is called If I Leave. It's okay. I'm not quite sure it's strong enough. Let me know your thoughts if you've heard it. Ruta Loop, I believe that's a young female musician. I've heard her song. It's called We Came From The Sun. It's not bad, but maybe lacking a bit of oomph. The Roop are back with a song called On Fire. Twosome are back with Player. There's a singer called Voldemars Petersons with Wings of Freedom, which I think I've heard a little bit of as well. There's also a band called, get this, A Broken Leg. And I've heard that, most of that song, Electric Boy, and it's very retro and quite indie and very different. If the staging is right, that could stand out an absolute mile. There's a whole bunch of other musicians involved. Glossarium, a sort of metal band, are back with a song called Game Over. I wasn't that impressed by that song. That is one that has been released. But anyway, the whole list is there. Check it out if you so wish. Oh dear dear, what a rambling video this is. Malta are using X Factor Malta, and Destiny Chukwunyere, who won Junior Eurovision a few years ago, is still in the hunt to win. I would be very surprised, in all honesty, if she didn't win. She could be going to Eurovision. She could be a serious contender. That's all I'm going to say. Moldova, nothing. North Macedonia are going internal, but no other details. Norway, things get started pretty soon for Norway, I believe, but they'll be picking their entry on the 15th of February. That's when the actual final is. Poland are going to have a national selection that I can't remember the name of, but anyway, 23rd of February for that. Portugal, 7th of March. We know some of the singers. We know all of the songwriters. It's worth keeping an eye on Blasted Mechanism, who are an electro-rock band known for their highly theatrical live shows involving elaborated alien-themed costumes. It will stand out a mile. Keep an eye on them. But otherwise, we don't know too many other things yet. None of the song titles or anything like that. Romania, their national final is going to be taking place in a city I can't remember the name of. It begins with B. Bujar, can't remember. But anyway, Romania will be having a national final. Russia, no details yet. Same with San Marino and Serbia. No, we do know some stuff about Serbia, because Sanja Vucic, who represented her country in 2016, is back as part of her group Hurricane. Worth keeping an eye on them. Excuse me. Slovenia, they are having a pre-national selection before the national selection. It's called EMA Fresh, and a whole bunch of songs are involved. I need to listen to them. Stella, Unite, Alfirev, Clarity, Marmaris, Sashka, Pianina, Lana Hrvatin, Parvani Violet, and Astrid in Avant Garden. What a brilliant name that is. They are the 10 musicians. I believe it's just 2 will go through to the actual national final, and we do know the names of the songs, the songwriters, and the singers that are definitely involved. Anna Soklic, Bojidar Wolf and Wolf, Gaia Presto, who I believe is one of the favourites already on paper. I've seen a lot of stuff online saying that she is a contender. Imset, Inmate, Klara Yazbek, Lina Kuduzovic, who represented her country in Junior Eurovision a few years ago. We had Ula Lojar last year. Now it's Lina's turn. Her song is called Man Like You, and she wrote it. Mancha Berlech, Simon Vanjal, and Tinkara Kovac, who represented her country in 2014 but finished in the bottom 3. She's back with a song called, with a song called Forever. So, I think Slovenia, I've said this in a previous video, I think they're going to do quite well this year. Something tells me that they're going to do quite well. Let me know your thoughts. Sweden, we know the names of the singers, the names of the songs, the songwriters, but none of the songs have been revealed yet. Felix Sandman is apparently one of the big favourites there. Switzerland, no details, but the song will be revealed in March alongside the singer. Ukraine, no details yet. We do know that in the national selection, Tina Karol and Andrei Danilko, who... Does that name sound unfamiliar to you? Well, I'll tell you, it's Verka Serduchka. Both of them will be involved in the jury that will help decide Ukraine's representative for Rotterdam. We don't know any of the singers or the songs yet. Oh dear. France, no details. Germany, nothing yet. Italy, we do know the San Remo singers, but you'll have to bear with me because I don't have that list in front of me and I need to do my research. Yes, San Remo Festival 2020 lineup. Here we are. Bear with me, I'll get back to Italy in a minute, but one thing's for sure, Italy will push hard for the win again this year, and I really hope they do win soon. Netherlands apparently have chosen their singer and song. I read something about that earlier today, and apparently they're very confident about their chances of winning again. Spain will be represented by Blas Canto. We know about him, the song will be revealed in due course, and nothing about the United Kingdom yet. So in terms of Italy, my word, I do apologise for the rambling in this video, but these videos are always long, rambling things. Here we are. No Annalisa, who in my opinion is the best musician in Italy. She's not involved. Instead we have Anastasio, Giordana Angi, Bugo featuring Morgan, Diodato. Elodie is back. She had a fantastic song in Sanremo a couple of years ago called Tutta Colpa Mia. Absolutely fantastic. She's back. She must be a contender. But watch out because Gabbani's back. Francesco Gabbani is involved. Irene Grandi. Rafael Gualazzi. Hello. Represented his country in 2011 and finished second. Keep an eye out for him. Paolo Iannacci. Junior Calli. Elettra Lamborghini. What a name. Achille Lauro, who had a song called Rolls Royce last year. Levante. Le Vibrazioni. Marco Massini, Enrico Nigiotti, Piero Pelù, Pinguini Tattici Nucleari, Rancore, Riccardo Ricky Marcuzzo, Alberto Urso, and Michele Zarrillo. Those are the names involved. One thing's for sure, absolute quality, left, right and centre. Who's that woman there? Because she's absolutely beautiful. sorry. Italian people, Italian music. Oh man. What can I say? I love the place. I'd love to go. Anyway, I'm going off on a massive tangent. That's it. Heavens above. What an absolute shambles of a video. If you've stuck around, thank you so much. I really will try to be briefer in future videos and get to the point a lot quicker. But there we have it. All 41 nations. I've covered them. And it's still early days. More songs will be revealed by the end of this month. We'll probably have another 2 or 3. Well, certainly we'll have at least 1 or 2. But maybe a few more than that will be thrown into the Eurovision bag, if you see what I mean. And like I say, before we know it, Eurovision will be here. That's it. Blimey, I need to drink a bit more because I almost had a choking fit halfway through. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts. I'm genuinely interested. If you're Italian, tell me about this Lamborghini person because she sounds, if it's a she, I think it's a she, sounds absolutely fantastic. Oh man, I'm going to shut up now. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all the support for my channel. I really do. And until next time, cheers. Roll on Eurovision and bye for now.